Have you ever cooked an amazing meal only to feel disappointed by how it looks on the plate? Well, you're not alone. Turning a delicious recipe into a beautiful dish can feel like a professional chef's secret, but it doesn't have to be. In the last episode in this series, we looked at the artistic side of plate design, including why you should sketch out your design in advance, colour theory, composition, and layout options. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tom, and I've been a professional food photographer for the past 10 years, working with some amazing chefs across the UK. It's through this shared passion for beautifully plated food that the chef and photographer meet. My long career has also meant I've had a front row seat to their visual process in action and picked up some amazing tips and tricks to help produce some of the most stunning dishes around. So in this instalment of my Plate Like a Pro series at home, I'm ditching the theory and getting practical with 3 awesome tips. I'll show you some strategies and tactics to actually bring your plate designs to life, so your food looks as good as it tastes. And stick around until the end for a bonus tip that might just be the game changer you've been waiting for. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, planning is key. Don't expect visual magic to happen without some forethought. We'll cover a few basics that you might already be familiar with, but I've got one secret that will take your plating to the next level. First up, let's tackle the essentials. Start by thoroughly reading your recipe, understanding the steps, timing and equipment needed before you even pick up a knife. Visualize the process. Imagine how each element will come together on the plate. Next, create a timeline. Work backwards from your desired serving time, mapping out each step. This will help you identify tasks to be done in advance, ensuring a smooth and stress-free plating experience. Prioritize the make-ahead components like sauces, marinades, and certain side dishes. These can be prepared entirely or partially ahead of time, freeing up precious minutes when it's time to plate. Now let's dive into the real magic though. This is something I learned from the brilliant chef Stephen Edwards during our Food Envy podcast session. It's a process he called hits to the plate, and it's really revolutionised my thoughts on plating. Now thankfully this doesn't refer to getting frustrated and smashing up your plate, but to how many final elements are actually needed to add to the plate to complete its design. To give you an idea, let's check out his strawberry dessert that he kindly plated as part of the podcast. I'll link it here if you're interested in watching the entire demonstration. It's well worth a watch as there are some amazing tips and tricks in there. In this dish, I would say there are 6 hits to the plate, all of which have been made in advance, so it's purely about how the elements are added to the dish. The first hit to the plate is the strawberry diplomat cake, to which he's added bee pollen. The second hit is fresh strawberries added to the side. Notice how they're pre-cut, and he knows exactly where he wants them, and he spread them out next to the cake. He will add olive oil to this too. Again, see how everything is ready and in easy reach. Third hit is the crumb. The function of this is twofold. Firstly, a wonderful crunch to a fairly soft dessert. But second, and perhaps more important, is a functional reason. One of the subsequent hits is a sorbet, and this will stop it rolling around and melting too soon. The fourth hit is a white chocolate twirl, which again is added with precision and accuracy. He knew in advance that this is where it was going to be placed between the cut strawberries, so there's no confusion or scrabbling around for ideas. The fifth hit is the marigold leaves to add flavour and for me a wonderful pop of colour to break up the red in the dessert. Sixth hit is the strawberry sorbet itself to complete this stunning and delicious dessert. By knowing the number of hits to the plate, you can estimate the plating time needed. Imagine trying to serve 4 of these desserts at your dinner party. Understanding the hits helps you gauge whether you need an extra pair of hands in the kitchen to plate up perfectly and on time. It's always good to know when you need some help. And if that's you when it comes to plating, why not download my Plate Like a Pro guide from the description below? It's already been downloaded literally hundreds of times by amateurs and pros alike, and it's completely free. However, if you found some value in it, then I'd really appreciate a like to this video or a subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel to grow, and to tell YouTube to put this video in front of more passionate platists just like you and me. Thank you. So you've got your plating plan, but what else influences the overall success of your dish? Now, I've emphasised countless times on this channel, even the most stunning plate cannot salvage a poorly cooked dish. So mastering your cooking techniques is paramount. I've picked up some valuable tips from my time in professional kitchens, and I'm happy to share them with you. But as you know, I'm a photographer, not a chef. So if you have any other tips and tricks or hacks, then please feel free to drop them in the comments below. First off, wash and chop your vegetables well in advance. Store them in airtight containers in the refrigerator until you're ready to use them. This saves precious time during the cooking process. Next, pre-portion your proteins and measure out your dry ingredients. Having everything ready to go eliminates guesswork and ensures a smoother cooking experience. For vegetables that require perhaps a longer cooking time, consider par cooking them. Blanching or partially roasting them allows for quick finishing right before serving. Staggering the cooking time is an essential technique. Start with dishes that require the longest cooking time and utilise multiple burners or oven racks to cook simultaneously. Remember, many proteins will benefit from a rest after cooking. This allows the juices to redistribute, resulting in a more flavourful and tender final product. Use this resting time to finish up your components of your dish. Finally, employ a hold technique to keep your final dishes warm. Utilize low ovens, warming drawers, or a gentle simmer on the stovetop to maintain optimal serving temperatures. For the purpose of this video though, we're going to assume all your elements are prepared to perfection, looking, smelling and tasting just as you planned. Now the next question is though, what's the most efficient way to assemble everything onto the plate? There are some quick wins you can organise to make your plating as efficient as possible to give you a greater chance of plating this like a pro. But just like with tip 1 about hits to the plate, there is one tip that pros use that can make all the difference for you. But before we get there, a few of the quick wins. First off, consider warming your plates if you're serving hot food. A low oven or warming drawer does the trick. Also have your mise en place prepped and ready to go, whether it's chopped herbs, a delicious sauce, or a sprinkle of microgreens. Again, assemble your dishes in stages. Start with elements that sit at room temperature and then add the hot components just before serving to maintain optimal temperature. But now here's the pro tip that can truly elevate your plating game, the plant point. Imagine a designated spot in your kitchen where every ingredient, tool and plating element is within easy reach. This is the plant point, and its purpose is to minimize movement and maximize efficiency during plating. Just check out this venison dish from Ben Watson, who's using the plant point technique here. The biggest time waster is unnecessary movement. Walking back and forth, turning around and reaching awkwardly for things. A plant point keeps everything you need close by, allowing you to focus solely on planning without interruption. Those saved seconds per plate add up to valuable minutes over the course of a meal. If you get a chance, you really should click on the playlist here of plating demonstrations that I filmed with a number of UK top chefs. You'll see how arranged their workspaces and how they bring everything with them to their plant point. If it works for the pros, it can definitely work for you in your kitchen. I promised you practical tips at the start. So how do you set one up at home? Place trays, containers, and tools like spoons, tweezers, or ladles directly next to your plating area. Instead of holding the tray with one hand and plating with the other, put the tray down so you can use both hands. Organise items into the order you want to use them, creating a logical flow. Keep the plant point compact. Everything should be reachable without taking a step. So whether you're plating multiple dishes in a restaurant setting or preparing for a dinner party at home, a well-organised plant point leads to faster plating, consistent presentation, and thankfully reduced stress. With your plan in place and your plant point ready, the final question remains, how do you translate your vision from paper to plate in the most effective way possible? Well, this is where the bonus tip comes in. You need to set up your mise en place, plant point, and plates in the correct format, and this is where you should consider utilising an arc layout. The arc layout could be a game changer for you, particularly for those of you working in a limited space. Imagine arranging your plates in a semicircle or arc around you, with your ingredients and tools centrally placed within the arc. This layout is perfect for solo plating or when working in tight kitchens. This layout shines because it keeps everything within arm's reach. You can easily access your tools, ingredients and plates with minimal movement. Unlike traditional setups, this layout reduces time reaching, turning or repositioning. If you have a rectangular table, utilise the corners for additional prep space or staging areas. This layout is ideal for solo stations, dishes that require last-minute assembly, and home cooking scenarios. It allows for two-handed efficiency, maximising your workspace and improves your overall plating workflow. By incorporating the arc layout, you'll create a streamlined and organised plating station that saves you time, reduces effort, and ultimately enhances your entire plating experience. So whether you're a professional chef or a passionate home cook, using some or all of these techniques outlined in the video will revolutionise the way you plate your dishes and wow your guests. Feeling stuck in a creative rut? Struggling to find fresh inspiration for your plate presentations? Don't worry, you're not alone. Every creative, from painters to architects, musicians to chefs, faces moments when the ideas don't seem to flow. If this sounds familiar, I've got the perfect remedy for you. Click on the video here to dive into the first video of another plating series on this channel, where I uncover the secrets behind some of the most innovative chefs in the industry. We'll delve into their sources of inspiration and even explore how to reverse engineer those jaw-dropping dishes you see all over Instagram. Remember, this isn't about stealing ideas, but rather using them as a springboard to fuel your own creativity and growth as a passionate platist. So what are you waiting for? Let's break free of those creative blocks and elevate your plating to new heights.